It's important. You got to be able to hit on these second-round picks. Like you said, you look around the league, a lot of teams even have impactful players playing for them that they drafted in the second round. The Lions right now, we talk about the lack of depth everywhere, especially on defense, a lack of talent. Doesn't help you missed on the last 2 picks. And it's crazy, too, and I'm not trying to play devil's advocate. I'm not trying to say that Josh Paschal shouldn't be the pick because I've yet to see him play. But it's even more frustrating that Brad knew about these injuries before he drafted them. And now seeing how it's played out, it doesn't really help his case. Like if you look at Josh Paschal taken 46th overall, look at the guys that were after him. Jaquan Brisker, Sam Williams, Christian Harris. Like these are players that are positions of need and would be able to make an impact right away. So for me, it is concerning. I don't think I'm going to say, you shouldn't have taken Josh Paschal yet. I have to see him play. But for Brad Holmes, if you want to talk about Brad, you got to be able to draft, especially hit on guys that can contribute right away and not be hurt in college. Or for Levi's sake, having that lingering back issue, you draft him, and now he's going to miss the entire season. This may even end his career. So, again, we can praise Brad. I still think he's probably, if not the best, one of the best general managers. I think it's only been 2 years, but I think when it's all said and done, he'll be the best general manager ever for the Lions. But a part of that is hitting on those second-round picks because he's done a good job past that. The 4th round, you find Malcolm in the 6th, but you got to hit on the 2nd. There's still plenty of talented players available. In the last 2 drafts, he has yet to find one.
I will say this about Brad Holmes that I don't like. I don't like this continuous habit of drafting injured players. You don't have that right.
No, you don't have that. Yeah.
There is no front office in the NFL that has that cachet outside of maybe a handful, let's say, that are legitimate contenders that could take a swing. Oh, we could afford to miss on a first-round pick. You could afford to miss on a second-round pick. No, you can't. When you are rebuilding, you cannot afford it. And the reality is, for everybody's sake, what I will say is Josh Paschal needs to work out.
Needs to.
Because if he doesn't, I'm going to look at Brad Holmes and say, you've had 2 drafts. I am missing 2 potential starters because you've decided to draft players who are injured. That's not a fun conversation to have, but that's the reality. You want to get into an uncomfortable conversation? Levi doesn't play well this year. Levi gets hurt again and doesn't play the rest of the season. You want to have a really honest conversation about the Lions' current situation? Not only does the coaching suck, you're now looking at the GM and saying, you've had 2 NFL draft classes. You couldn't pull 1 second-round pick. Not a good look. You were able to pull Sewell, able to pull St. Brown, able to pull a few starters here and there.
Right.
Good players. I have to give credit where credit's due. But I am to be determined on Paschal and Jameson Williams, even though we all agree J-Mo was the best wide receiver coming out of the draft prior to that injury. Fair?
Fair.
Cool. You did draft Aiden Hutchinson. These players need to start performing as much as anything for his sake. Look, again, Brad Holmes earned all the praise that he had going into this year. And after that draft, why, Jeff? Amon-Ra St. Brown, Penei Sewell. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
If he's going into this offseason and you're questioning his number 2 overall pick, unsure of the number 12 overall pick, and then looking at the second rounder and he's injured again, boy, you're not going to have as much of an optimistic, positive offseason as you'd like. Because that's not a good look.
No.
I can't even defend that.
You know what's even more surprising, too? Like, he was a part of the Los Angeles Rams, and what did the Los Angeles Rams do so well the last couple of years? They didn't have first-round picks. They were hitting on guys in the second round. Well, take away Cam Akers because that doesn't seem like a hit. But for the most part, they were able to find guys, contributors, that can play right away in the second round. So you're right. I don't know in what mindset he had to be able to say, you know what, we're going to take 2 guys that have injury history, but I think they have tremendous upside. You don't have that right. The Lions right now, you need starters. You need guys that can contribute right away. And especially when you see who fell after Josh Paschal, or even going back to Levi, who was still there after Levi, it's inexcusable. Yes, it's only been 2 drafts, but Josh Paschal's got to work out. That's got to be a contributor, because if it isn't, and you miss on your first 2 drafts in the second round, it doesn't help you going forward, because you're not always going to find an Amon-Ra in the 4th. You're not always going to find a Malcolm Rodriguez in the 6th.
Yeah, but
you got to be able to hit in the
equity
2nd.
has to count for something, though, and that's why I've been very supportive of Brad Holmes, though. Right?
Yeah, no, I'm not going to take that
and
away
I know
from
you've
him.
been the same way. It's just the reality. When you pull 4 or 5 starters and 2 draft classes, to me, you're doing a good job.
Right.
Now,
you would like it to be in the second.
Am I nitpicking here and saying, well, your second-round picks haven't panned out? Yeah, a little bit. But I haven't seen Paschal play yet, so I don't want to even entertain that yet.
Mm-hmm.
When Paschal sees the field, if he gets hurt somehow, some way, hopefully not, there's going to be a conversation. But if he goes out and plays and he's giving you quality snaps,
He's a starter. He's solid.
You've now pulled 6 starters,
Right.
which could be 7 when J-Mo comes back. I'm not seeing the issue with the GM.